Hey y'all, I'm Tamara. I am PD Stitcher here on YouTube and over on Instagram, and this is my channel about cross stitch. Look like I just got off work because I just got off work. And so I'm looking a little bit, unkempt. My hair's kind of crazy, but I'm so happy to be with y'all today. It is the end of January. Today is January 31st, and it is about 3:30 in the afternoon. And it is cloudy here in South Carolina, so I don't have a lot of great light. Hopefully the lights I have here will give me decent enough light for y'all to see my projects accurately. I know colors don't always come across the way they should. It's been a while. I think I'm going to go with a once a month making a floss tube. It works for me, and this way I can kind of wrap up January and give you my plans for February, and we can go from there. So what do we have? We have a finish. I finished something this month, y'all. I don't have any new starts. I did start something before the last floss tube back at the beginning of January, but no new starts now. And a lot of whips. I'll give you my kind of wrap up. I have notes over here on my computer, so if I'm looking over to the side, I'm looking over there. Milo is up here with me. Buster is downstairs. He's sad because my youngest is at soccer practice, and when she's not home, he just hangs out in his crate until she gets back. So he's not up here. So let's see. I worked on in January 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 projects in January. I had one finish. I did 9,150 stitches, and obviously this is before any stitches I might get done tonight, but those will be a small number. So around a little bit more than 9,000 stitches, which isn't a great month for a lot of people, but it's a pretty good month for me, so I'll take it. I had a few days that I didn't stitch at all because of traveling or just being sick. I got the crud last week over the weekend, and it was just, there was a couple of days I just wasn't feeling up to doing anything. Stitching, I couldn't focus on stitching because my head hurt so bad. But let's get started. So my one finish is Autumn Rules. And I'm going to show you this even though you'll see the finished thing. By Primrose Cottage Stitches. This is the cover photo. And this was stitched on 32 count color and cotton Harvest Moon. And here it is, y'all. I did iron it, but then I folded it back up to go back in the bag, so I'm going to have to iron it before I finish it completely. But we all know that I don't finish things completely, so there's that. But y'all, I love this. Autumn Rules. Go apple picking. Give thanks. Visit the pumpkin patch. Rake leaves. Go on a hayride, make pumpkin pie. I did change a lot of the called fors. They were all called for DMCs, and I changed several of them out to color and cotton. Not color and cotton. Oh my. I can't think, y'all. To Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Arts. The fabric's color and cotton. Y'all, it's been a day. I apologize. My brain is just not there. But I'm so excited. I finished something the very first month of this year. If I can finish one thing a month, I'll get 12 finishes, which is about 7 more than I got last year. So, and this was housed in my Amazon bag. Well, one of my Amazon bags. So that was my one and only finish. So So let's look at some whips. These are in no order other than just the way they are in my thing. The next one is, I don't have cover photos for the ones that are on Pattern Keeper, and my Pattern Keeper is on the tablet that I'm using to film. So I'm going to try and find cover photos on my phone to show you. And so here is, excuse Milo if you could hear him, he's a bit gassy. This is 3 dolphins, and I don't know how to make this not so shoddy. Let me see if I can. I'm not tech savvy. My children make fun of me. Oh, there we go. There we go. So this is 3 dolphins. This is a Heaven and Earth Designs full coverage. The artwork is by Carol Cavalaris. And I'm stitching it on 28 count easy grid. And here's where it is. My needle minder says, "It is well with my soul." So this one, it's one of my most peaceful looking projects. I love the dolphin project. I've been doing, so I'm doing cross country across a page and then finishing off a thread so if it goes into the page above or the page below. But I'm on page 3 of a lot. I think I hit 6% yesterday when I was working on this. So it'll only take me about 50 more years. Okay, the next one is also housed in a lovely Amazon bag. And this is Home of the Brave by Hands On Design. And I am stitching this on 32 count antique white. And I started this in September of last year. And I think if I work on it just a few times this year, I might be able to finish this. It's not a difficult stitch. My needle minder, this little American eagle, American flag eagle. But I have Land of Free, and then this is the beginning of the ampersand for and then here's the T for the, and I have a good bit of the flagpole done. So I love stitching this, but with the way I'm working on my projects this year, because I just started it this past year, it's only going to get 1 day at a time. Maybe 2 if I'm working towards a prompt for it and I can't get all the stitches done in 1 day. But most of the time it's just going to get 1 day before I move on to something else, because I want to get my older ones closer to finishes. Alright, my next one is in a Barefoot Needle Art penguin bag. And it is Giggles in the Snow by Mirabilia. And I am working on the little girl. Y'all ignore my ugly fingernails. I was trying to get a toy from the dog the other day and he bit me. So I really need to put fingernail polish or something on it so it doesn't look quite so ugly and bruised. But I'm working on the little girl. And I finished the cross stitch parts for snow, for the word snow. I haven't done the back stitching yet, and I'm not going to do the back stitching or the beads till the very, very end. I have most of her scarf, a lot of the snow drifts around her head area, started on her pigtails, and came down here, working on a little bit more of the snow, and her glove. So this is on 32 count white opalescent. I don't know if you could tell. Yeah, there you go. You can really see the sparkle. I thought the sparkle would really make the snow look snowy. And again, that was one that I just started in 2023. So And Buster just decided to join us, so maybe he's not just going to pout in his crate the whole time my youngest is gone. Buster, go up on the bed. Hey, baby. My love. I'll be back. Okay, one of them went back to lay down. The other one's sitting here staring at me like I have just completely destroyed his afternoon because I won't pay him all my attention right now. He'll live. All right, my next one is World of Disney. And this one I got from Etsy. It's by ZAnna. I'm not sure which one it is. Cross Stitch on Etsy. And I'm stitching this on 32 count white easy grid. This is what it's going to look like if I ever finish it. I literally have done just this corner up here and I'm still like 1%. So I'm not sure it will ever be finished, but I'm enjoying stitching on it because it's a lot of fun. So like I said, I'm up in that top corner. I've finished 3 pages and I'm on page 4. So this has gone fairly quickly because it's a lot of blue and white. The blue, it's almost like a checkerboard. It's every other stitch is one color and then fill in. So I'm kind of filling in. And then I started on the little arch right there when I got tired of blue. Because there's only so much blue I could stitch at one time. But this one I started in 2021, so it will get 3 days of stitching every time I stitch on it. So hopefully I'll make some decent progress on that. The next one is in this bag. Oops, that's the back. This little quilted bag. And it is the Fox from Cottage Garden Samplings. And I am stitching this on 32 count Picture This Plus Nocturne. And I absolutely love how the orange colors are popping on this fabric for the Fox. The whites are showing up pretty good. The greens, they're showing up okay, but the trees aren't the focus of the piece, so if they're not prominent, I'm not stressing out about that. I just love how the Fox is popping out on it. So, he was another start in 2023, so again, he'll get one day. I had a lot of 2023 starts. So, there's a lot of pieces that will get one day, and then I'll move on to something else. Or 2, like I said, if it's for a prompt, but usually not more than that. Right, the next one is housed in this Stitch and Button bag from her 2022 Christmas box. And it is Royal Nutcrackers by Bobbie G Designs. And that is the cover photo. And I am stitching this on 32 count Picture This Plus Faun. And I'm going to move the needle minder from over the top of the face. And almost all of the cross stitch has been finished. I've got some more of the little baubles to do around the outside edge. And then it's all back stitch. So this should finish in the next couple of months. This was a 2022, so this gets at least 2 days, maybe 3 if it's to finish up a prompt. The needle minder was also from the Stitch and Buttons Christmas box from 2022. Milo's rolling around over there and he literally just rolled into the window. I love him, but he's not always all there. He definitely is our challenging dog. Not because he's bad, he's just kind of not really smart. Alright, the next one is Christmas 2, which is another Heaven and Earth design The artwork is from Ciro Marchetti. And this is the cover photo. And I am working up in the almost completely left-hand corner. I think I just have one more little page over here, or maybe a page and a half. And it's the top. I'll be all the way across the top. So I'm very excited. This one I'm stitching 2/1/10 stitch on 25 count EC grid. So, the grime guard is from Garon Totten Bags, and the needle minder is from a stitch along with, I don't remember. It was a Nutcracker stitch along, and I can think of everything except the name of the company. I'm so sorry. Y'all are probably screaming at me because you all probably know. They have cute little designs. I've stitched a lot of them. Frosted Pumpkin. It's from Frosted Pumpkin. I told you it's been a day. And my last one is the one that I had to restart. If you saw my last Flosstube at the beginning of the month, I talked to you about the sad story that was Rosetta from Ink Circles. It had a mishap with its fabric, and there's stain on it, and I was almost all the way done. I was about 75% done. This is what the cover photo looks like. It's not what it's going to look like for me because I'm stitching each medallion. Each medallion will be a different color, and all of the border pieces will be in Weeks Dye Works Kohl. This is my focus piece for the year because I was so sad about getting so close to the end and then having to restart that I've decided I want to focus on this. I'm not going to finish it this year. I'm planning to do, I think it's 1,500 stitches every month or 1,000 stitches every month, and that will get me close, but not quite. I'll be able to finish it in 2025. But all I did in January was outline. And I got one whole block outlined, started on this, went down to there, and went across the top. So February's focus will be working on this medallion, and it's my butterfly needle minder with this one. And this is on 40 count Grace Notes fabric, sparkling grape, and it's looking very gray in this light, but it is a purpley gray. It's got some purple undertones in the gray, but like I said, it's hard to translate. You can kind of see some of the purple now when I've got it up close. It's hard to translate fabric color in bad lighting, and I don't have really good lighting because the sun has decided it doesn't want to grace us with its presence today. For those of you who are in areas of this country that had such terrible winter weather the last few weeks, I feel for y'all. I'm complaining about not having sunshine. Y'all had like feet of snow and ice, and we just had cold and gray. And then we had warm. And last weekend, when I was sick and couldn't go out and enjoy it, it was like in the 70s. And now it's back down. Today it was 60 when I left for work. It's now 50 something. It's getting colder as the day goes on. I work in a building, and I don't face a window. So my daughter told me it rained for 2 hours today. I had no idea. But the rain seemed to have brought in some cold weather. So let's... if you're here for just the stitching, I'm going to do some plans and for February and share those with y'all. And then I'm going to move on to life stuff. So what are we doing in February? Now, I should have said in January, I did participate with Sammy J with her Whippagories. And Milo is chewing on a toy, which is probably the other noise that you hear. And so I'll kind of I should have said this while I was going through them, but the fox was the piece that I used for less than 10 colors. For beads or specialty stitches, I used Giggles in the Snow because it will have beads on it. For pattern type paper, I used Royal Nutcrackers. I could have used a lot of mine. Most of mine are paper patterns. I only have like 6 or 7 that are PDFs that I do on Pattern Keeper. The large was Rosetta, and my oldest whip was Christmas too. So those were my 5, and my goal for each of the categories is 500 stitches each for each month. So Sammy J's already called her categories for February, and they are full coverage, a size medium pattern type paper again, a holiday piece, and a new design 2023 or 2024 release. So for full coverage, I'm going to be doing Cardinal in the Snow, which did not see any love in January. Like I said, I'm trying to go through all my whips before I go back to some. So there are some that are focus pieces, so they'll get stitched on regardless. So that's what Cardinal in the Snow is going to look like. For size medium, it's Liberty. And I don't have any of these pulled, so I'm just going to show you the cover photos that I have on my phone. This is Liberty, and I know I've stitched most of the border, I think all of the word freedom, the star and the fireworks and the word Liberty, and the red, white, and blue with the stars. I have to do these 2 boxes and across the bottom. This also was called for a Whip Go call for February for a finish. It's not going to get finished in February. It will get finished in 2024. So I'll be working on it in February, but I probably won't hit my goal for it until much later in the year, which is fine because the one I just finished in January, it's on my Whip Go board for a finish, and I've already finished it. It hasn't been called yet. So when that month comes, maybe I can dip back in and work on Liberty. For pattern type paper, it's Christmas Village Stocking by Cooler Design Studio, this is the cover photo. And then for holiday, it's Christmas too. That's another one of my focus pieces because it's my oldest whip and I'd like to really get it going. I've already shown y'all this in my progress on it. And then for new design, I don't have any new patterns that I'm working on that were put out and released in 2023 or 2024. So my backup plan for a month where something is called that I don't have is to work on Rosetta because that is my other focus piece. So that all of those will get at least 500 stitches. And then for Whip Go, like I said, Liberty was called to be a finish. It's not going to be a finish in February, but I will work on it. And then a new start, to do 2 days on a new start. And that kind of takes us into life. So if you were just here for the stitching, thank you for joining me. If you saw something that you liked, I hope that you will hit the bell and hit subscribe and come back. Thank you for spending some time with me. But if you're here for life stuff, so my new start will be a piece that I am going to do for my daughter who got engaged over Thanksgiving weekend last year in 2023. I don't know when, we don't have a date yet for her wedding, but I'm going to work on a piece. I'm going to start working on a piece now so that I can get it finished for one of her wedding gifts. So that will be my new start for February, and I'm very excited to work on that. And I will share it on here because she doesn't watch me, so I have no fear that it will be spoiled for her because she does not watch me, and that is fine. So that's a little bit of life. I have a daughter getting married. I think I shared with y'all in my last Flosstube about my child who is a runner and is in college and running for her college, that she had an injury. And I asked y'all if you pray, if you think good thoughts, whatever, please send them up for her. Please continue. She found out, they did end up going to the orthopedist and doing an MRI and a lot of other tests. She has a stress fracture in her femur. which she hasn't run since Thanksgiving because of the pain. We didn't know what it was until like the second week of January, what was actually causing the pain. So she has a stress fracture in her femur. She's basically able to do some cross training on the elliptical because it doesn't put any pressure on her leg. She's got at least, she went to the orthopedist yesterday, she has at least 3 more weeks. Somebody just drove by. They apparently think it's to come visit them. It is not. So she has at least 3 more weeks of no running. She is able to walk around. They did put her on crutches for a week. They said that where the fracture is, it's a stress fracture, so it's not completely fractured, but where it is, it would be very awkward and difficult to do a surgery to repair, and it would be a very difficult recovery. So they're hoping to just have it heal with rest. But that's hard. That's hard when all she wants to do is get back with her team and run again. And so she's struggling a little bit with that, with just the mental part of not being able to do what she enjoys. But she's really enjoying classes this semester, and so hopefully she'll find some other things that she can find joy in while she's recovering. My youngest, like I said, she's at soccer practice today. This is their week of tryouts. They had 3 days of tryouts, Monday, Tuesday, and today. And then tomorrow she will find out who made the varsity team and who made JV. She was a freshman on varsity last year, so we're kind of anticipating that she'll make the varsity team again. But, there are no guarantees. So we're excited and hoping that she'll make varsity again this year. My husband is coaching a varsity girls team for another high school in our city. Those 2 teams will play each other twice. So those might be some really fun games for me to not go to, because it's going to be hard to cheer against my husband or against my daughter. Which one would you choose? So that's the question of the day. If your husband was coaching a team that was playing your child's team, would you sit on one side and cheer for one? I've told them I could sit behind one goal that's kind of like midway between both sides of the field and just sit there. I don't know. I definitely will be taking stitching to that one so I can have something to keep my mind occupied besides with what's going on the field. So I hope you all have had a great January. I have. I'm glad to now be, you can kind of probably hear that I'm still really congested, but I am definitely feeling much better than I was over the weekend. And I'm hoping for an even better February. I hope you all stay happy, stay healthy, and keep stitching. Bye, y'all.